Hi guys, what's up? It's Remy. Welcome to my channel, or back to my channel. Today, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about how I got into witchcraft, and for my family members that watch my videos, let me clarify some things. No, I don't worship the devil. No, I do not do all the evil things you're probably thinking in your little brain, Christian brain right now, okay? I'm going to be talking about how I found witchcraft. I'm going to be talking about my personal beliefs and what I consider my religion aspect of these things. And I do want to make a separate video about like misconceptions of witchcraft and the other things, but in this video, let's discuss how I found witchcraft. So, I can't remember if I want to say that I was on YouTube and I was scrolling through my recommended, I think, and I found this video. I cannot find it since, by the way. I remember what the girl looks like, but I cannot remember the channel name, so it's been very impossible to find. But it was a video of misconceptions of witchcraft, and I was like, interesting, because I grew up very Christian. I grew up with my great-grandmother telling me that witches were very real and that they were evil, and then I grew up with my atheist mother who was telling me that witches aren't real, that's just dumb stuff, don't listen to her. And it was very much like, okay, well, I'm not really that Christian. I've been questioned Christianity a lot, so I'm probably gonna lean towards the they're not real thing, just like another like excuse for the people to just kill people back in the day, specifically minorities, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So I thought nothing of it, but when I saw this video I was interested, because I've always felt very spiritual, very connected to the earth, if that makes sense. Like I've always felt like drawn towards spiritual things, right? So I saw it, I clicked on it, I was like, okay, I was interested. I watched that video. It talked about like the fact that witches aren't like Satan worshippers, and the fact that religion and witchcraft are separate, and all these other things, right? And I was like, oh, this is so interesting, because one thing about me is that I find religion interesting as fuck. Like if I went to a university, I would probably have minored in religion, just because I find all religion just so interesting, how people believe in like certain things, you know, like Greek mythology, they have all the different gods, and then like Buddhism, they have Buddha, who is an actual person, and then we have like all the Roman gods and the Norse gods and the Egyptian gods, and Christianity, of course, and I just found it all very interesting. So I went down this kind of rabbit hole, I guess I would say, of just different things about witchcraft and how I could get into it and all these other things. So, you know, I started getting into it a little bit. And witchcraft is mainly about the self, at least to me. Witchcraft is very much about the self. It's about making yourself the best self you can be, to get in tune with your higher self, like as spiritually best you can be. And I would like to preface this by saying, I know like how religion and witchcraft is separate. You can be a Jewish witch, you could be a Catholic witch, you can be a Christian witch, you could be like, to me, I feel like witchcraft just makes you more connected spiritually to the earth and to your God. If you are a Christian witch, I know a couple of Christian witches who use witchcraft to be closer with God, to actually work with God rather than just worshiping Him. And I think that's a great thing. If you want to do something to feel closer to your God, your deity, whatever you believe in, higher self, the universe, witchcraft is a great way to do it. I have had my own battles with Christianity, with how they preach their things, but I've tried to kind of eliminate the church and try to just have my own relationship with God, and I never felt as connected to Him as I do with like the universe or the this is where I'm gonna lose all of my family watching this. If any of my family got this far into the video, which it's only like 5 minutes into the video, so I'm sure they have. But I have polytheistic views. So I believe in all of the gods: Norse, Greek, Roman, Egyptian, Christian, Buddha. I believe in all of them. I think that they all exist. And I just feel like everyone has their own spiritual journey, their own spiritual path, their own God, universe, higher self, deity that they are drawn to, that they believe in, that they will, like, I feel like there is a different path for everybody. Not everybody is vibing with the Christian God. You know, not everybody is vibing with Buddha. Not everybody is vibing with any God. Some people just are vibing with themselves and want to find their higher self. Some people just be vibing with the elements and the earth and the universe, and that's okay. Everybody's vibing with different things. Like, and I be vibing with the Norse gods. I work with and worship Loki, Odin, and Freya, and I have my own relationship with each of them, and I have my own connection with each of them, and I feel like the way that I experience them is how a Christian would experience their relationship with God. I feel like mine is more in-depth and more communicative. Words are hard. Than probably most Christians are used to or believing in. And you could say that my signs from my deities can be just pushed to the side as coincidences, sure. But that's all in your view and perception of the world and your beliefs. How my dear Frankie, my lovely chaotic witch aunt, Frankie, they like to say 2 times is a coincidence, 3 times is a sign. And I always take that with me, unless I ask for a specific sign. Then if it happens once, I'm like, oh, you know. But, Loki likes to send me spiders a lot. Okay, so this happened recently. So I have fallen out of my practice a little bit, like I've talked about in my previous video, and I was thinking about getting back into it, but I just wasn't doing anything about it, right? So Loki, the god of mischief, the little trickster god, he knows I don't like spiders, but I've gotten more used to them since I've been working with him. But this happened all in a span of 3 days, okay? So I found a spider in my car, right? In my car. And then I found a spider at work. Literally, it came out of nowhere. I had just taped up this ticket, and then the spider crawled putting a web down the ticket, and I was so confused, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then there was another spider on the lid of a cup at work as well. And I was like, and this is the kicker, okay? So it's very much like, oh, that was 3 times, right? This is the kicker, okay? I got out of the shower one day, and there was a spider. I literally got out of the shower, and I didn't see it until I was already standing outside of the shower, right? There was a spider hanging from the ceiling right in my eyesight, like my view, like my height, like it was right here. And I was like, okay, all right. So I take the web and I take the spider down, I put it by the window, and I'm like, okay, I hear you, I see you, I got it, okay. Everybody has their own different relationship with religion, spirituality, and all of those other things, and I feel like nobody should be judged for what they believe in, you know what I mean? And I feel like the Christian church does that a lot. Like, not all Christians do that, but the modern day Christian church judges other people for not believing what they believe. Not everybody believes the same thing, and that is one of the things that America was founded on, was having freedom of religion and believing what you want to believe. And I feel like the Christian church forgets that, because not everybody is vibing with the Christian God. Like I said, I don't think the Christian God's a bad God. I think humanity has twisted Christianity into being bad. Like, no religion is inherently bad. I feel like the core of each religion is amazing and beautiful, and it's like a reflection of how people see the world and how it was created. And I just feel like humanity makes religion bad. Does that make sense? Like, when people are like killing each other in the name of God, or like back in the pre-Christian religions, when people were sacrificing humans for the gods. Like, I feel like humans make religion evil. Does that make sense? I'm going on a tangent. I'm going on a rant. But yeah, I basically found witchcraft through YouTube, and I fell off a little bit because I started dating my boyfriend that I'm still with now. I started dating my boyfriend when I was like a sophomore in high school, and I thought he was gonna think I was weird, and I was like, oh, I should be doing this. It's whatever. It's weird. And you know, I was very anxious and very much like, be who you think people would like, you know. That's how I was back then. Now I'm like, I'm gonna be me and you gonna like it. Yeah. Anyways, so I crack myself up, okay? I'm not funny, but I crack myself up, and that's what matters, okay? Anyways, so one day me and him were watching The Adventures of Sabrina, the witch movie. I mean, the witch movie, it's a show. The witch show. After a couple seasons, I didn't like it anymore, but Tony liked it, so he continued to watch it. But we were laying there, and I was like, because again, I knew like a good foundation of witchcraft and like how it started and the different Sabbats and all the other things, and I just would remember hearing things in the show, and like I like, without thinking about it, I corrected it, like saying it out loud what it was supposed to be. And Tony was like, "What are you, a witch, bae?" And I was like, So I was like, let me shoot my shot. Let me shoot my shot. I was like, yeah. And I was like, I can just play it off as a joke if it's too weird for him. And then he was like, okay. And I was like, he said, okay. Okay? Tony, my boyfriend, is an atheist. And he does not really believe in the things that I believe in, but he's very respectful about it, and he lets me talk about it because he knows I love to talk about it. So he let me do his tarot one time. I need to do it again. I wanted to start doing these types of videos, these spirituality videos, because maybe someone who's lost in religion or spirituality finds my videos, and like I help them find a path of spirituality for them, you know? Because that's what happened for me. I found this girl's video talking about misconceptions of witchcraft and what people think is evil, and what it's not actually evil. It's a lot of things that people like picked from religion, and how Hollywood picked certain things to make it look evil. So it's just a lot of misconceptions of things, and I was just very intrigued because I always found magic cool. Does that make sense? Like if magic was real, which it is, obviously, but like when I was back then, I was like, I wish that I could. I wish that I could, you know, and now I can't. And obviously it's not like, look, I have some form of magic ball, blah, I kill you. No, it's not like that. Real magic is more mundane feeling than movie magic. Okay, let's do a comparison, alright? We'll use Supernatural as an example. Show. They throw some herbs and stuff in a pot, say some Latin words, fire happens, and magic, boom, happens. Real life. Throw some herbs in a pot, light it on fire, say some words, and then wait like a week. And then maybe something happens. Or maybe it backfires. I have found that my spells work pretty well. I used a job opportunity spell to get a job that I had before, and it was something I needed at the time. Something that I needed at the time, and it served me at the time, and I was able to meet amazing people because of it. And whether you want to believe that my spell made that happen for me, or whether that was fate for me, or whatever. Oh, I didn't talk about what my religion is. I consider myself a pagan. So, paganism is just basically a nature-based religion, a religion that revolves around nature and the universe and working with nature rather than just taking from it. So, if I were to like take a rock or a flower from outside for like a spell or for something that I wanted for personal use, I would basically like ask the earth if it was okay that I take this, because it's not mine to take. Like I'm also an animist, which means I believe that everything has a soul. I learned about animism words are hard, from like Native Americans. Like Native Americans believe that everything has a soul. When I was younger, I watched Pocahontas, and they talk about that in the Pocahontas movie, and I was like, that is exactly what I believe. Like how can you not believe that, is how I felt. Like I was like, yeah, everything has a soul. Everything is not living per se, but like has a spirit. But yeah, I consider myself a pagan, and I've always felt very connected with nature, and I've always felt like I feel the need for saying there was more for me, like spiritually. Like I never felt like there was nothing. Like my mom was an atheist, she didn't believe in anything. I don't know what her stands now are now, but it never felt like there was nothing for me. Like it never felt like nothing, you know? Like it felt like there was something. Maybe not God, maybe other gods. But I felt like there was something more for me, and I still feel like there is, like spiritually. I feel like there's I want to say, like, we'll put it in game terms, but like there's like a level that I haven't unlocked yet of my spirituality, like a path, like another path, I just feel like there's something else, you know, like I feel like I'm still hanging around the bases, like the basics of everything, and I feel like a part of me that doubts kind of pulls me back a little bit. And I know, like, Christians talk about giving into doubt, and but they were talking about mainly doubting God, and I guess it's kind of the sense of what I'm doubting. It's like doubting whether what I am believing is real, you know? I feel like sometimes, like, you get so wrapped up in what other people say and what other people believe, and like, oh, like, how could you believe that? Like, it kind of makes you be like, oh, like, really? Yeah, like, how could I believe that? Like, why do I believe this? But you, again, like I said, you have your own personal experience with spirituality, religion, God, whatever. And I watched a video of this girl saying, she goes, one day she's I think she's a shaman, or she was starting her shamanism path or something to become a shaman, and she was talking about how, like, what if all of this was in her head? Like, what if none of this is real? Like, what if blah blah blah? And she was like, or she thought about it, and she was like, well, if it isn't real, why does that matter? Because it is something that is helping me, it is something that is making me happy, it's something that is keeping me grounded and mentally okay, you know, like, and that's how I'm kind of trying to view it. Like, even if it isn't, it's something subconscious leading me somewhere. Everyone's opinion about spirituality and about gods are different. There's no way to prove if any of the gods or ghosts or spirits or whatever is real. And like I said, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but that also means that we can't prove if something Matthew over there said was right, or something Billy Bob over there said was right. Like, we just kind of learn through our own experiences and try and figure it out, you know? And there has been centuries upon centuries of experiences pre-Christianity that makes me feel like, how is it not real? Does that make sense? How is it not at least a little bit real? And I also consider myself an ominist, which means that I believe that every religion has a little bit of truth to it. That's what contributes to my polytheistic beliefs, is that I feel like every religion has the tiniest bit of truth to it. Okay, so before my camera turns off again because it's too hot, everyone has their own different views on everything. Always keep that in mind. Like, comment, subscribe, become a goblin yourself. I don't know how to incorporate your guys' name in my thing. You're my little goblins, okay? Always remember that. Drink your water. Always keep an open mind. And come back and see my face. Watch my videos. I got my little chef's uniform for school, so I might be doing some cooking videos. We don't know. I don't know yet. But I hope you guys have a great day. A great Wednesday. I think I'm going to post this on Wednesday, but blessed be. Bye.